Harvard University just recently released a study indicating that soda can be linked to death. Okay, so I have issues with the study. We'll discuss that, but before we do that, let me give you the results. They found that about 200,000 or 180,000 deaths worldwide occur because of the overconsumption of soda. Now, they noticed that the death rate is actually higher in poorer countries, especially in Latin America and the Caribbean. But when you look at the United States specifically, the researchers believe that soda-related deaths accounted for about 25,000 deaths in the United States in 2010. Now, this was a 5-year study, and they used worldwide info, some of which was provided by the World Health Organization. But I should also note that this study has not been published in a peer-reviewed journal yet. So I'm very curious to see what the methodology is. I'm curious to see if they could actually find like a causal link or if this is just correlation. Now, they point out cardiovascular disease, diabetes, cancer, a lot of chronic diseases. So what are the other factors that played a role? Like, can you really pinpoint that it's soda that caused this?
Well, they're saying it's linked. That's another word for correlated with. There's no real way that they could say that it caused it, but they would say that, you know, if soda was introduced and was cheap to buy in this country starting in this year, we saw a rise in cardiovascular disease that correlated with it. I have friends. I've never been to Mexico, but I have friends who said that they saw, like, their family was around, there wasn't soda for a long period of time, or it wasn't common, or it wasn't affordable. It's become much more common and much more affordable, especially in the cities. And, you know, that combined with some westernization of the diet, the obesity rates in countries like Mexico, and they mentioned in their Latin American countries, just skyrocketed. And so, look, is it 180,000 preventable deaths per year? I have no idea, but it's almost certainly influencing it.
Yeah, I think that it's definitely one factor in a long list of, certain things that make you unhealthy, that make you fat. It's the availability of cheap processed foods that's also playing a role. So I think my biggest issue with the way we're handling the obesity epidemic is we're just like focusing on one thing and one thing only, when in reality there needs to be like a comprehensive plan to combat obesity. You can't just focus on soda. Now, with that being said, I just want to note that of course soda is extremely unhealthy. It doesn't matter if it's diet soda, it doesn't matter if it's regular soda, it's empty calories, it's not good for you, it has chemicals in it. I mean, this is all stuff that you guys already know. And I wish that we can be more convincing when it comes to drinking water or unsweetened iced tea or something that isn't so disastrous for your health. I mean, think about it this way. Oh, sorry to interrupt you, but I mean, there was a point, I was in like 10th grade and I got fat. And I got fat because I was drinking like juice. Juice is also not good for you. Too sugary. People think that it's healthy. It's not healthy. I was drinking juice, soda, all of that stuff. And then I realized instead of drinking the juice and the soda, if I just drink water, already I'm cutting out a ton of calories, right? So just doing that alone helped me lose the weight pretty quickly.
That's true, but water historically doesn't come in very interesting flavors, though. Soda, tons of flavors. Much more interesting. No. Look, people don't like when we tell them not to drink soda. Like, and we're not.
Sorry. Okay. Can I just be honest with them for a second?
Yeah. I'll talk later.
All right. Thank you. I don't give a shit what you guys drink. You can drink like a 2-liter as soon as you wake up in the morning, right? I'm saying it because I care about people's health, right? So I'm just giving advice. What you do with that advice is your business, right? So that's all it is.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, when we give tentative support for something like the New York City soda ban or something, which I don't even know if you support that. I don't think it should be banned, but you can tax things to make it more expensive or make it a little bit harder to find. Like we do that with cigarettes and alcohol and things like that already. And we're not saying that you should ban these things. Some people might say, well, you guys think that marijuana should be illegal, that can give you cancer and stuff like that, which I think is debatable. But we also think that it should be able to be taxed or regulated in some fashion.
Of course.
And we understand that deaths caused by soda are voluntary deaths to some extent. That's why most people say there shouldn't be any ban on things like high fructose corn syrup, because people are doing it to themselves. That's sort of true. These deaths are voluntary to the extent that you don't think that the billions of dollars spent on advertising is in any way money well spent. Like, you apparently think that advertising is a complete waste of money, or else we'd have to concede that it's at least to some extent not voluntary, that this advertising does affect us psychologically and makes us more likely to consume things that aren't necessarily healthy for us.
Yeah, definitely. I agree with you. I mean, and just to be absolutely clear, as if, what you said wasn't clear enough, I'm not for banning sodas. I'm for health campaigns. I'm for educating people, letting people know what the reality is. Because even though we all think that everyone is educated on how unhealthy soda is, that's not true.
Yeah.
There are people in middle America that drink soda on a regular basis and they think that it's totally fine. They think that you are supposed to have soda
what you drink.
or juice or whatever it is, some high caloric beverage with every meal. But that's not the truth. Obviously, you have to let people know what they're doing to their bodies. So I think information and education is power, and that's all that I want to push for.